Hi, One Stars and fellow YouTubians. Cynthia here with Valerie. I think most of you know her, some of you may not, but I'm going to let Valerie introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name's Valerie Cameron. I am a psychic medium, and actually, I love what I do, and I do what I love.
That's perfect.
I really do. I don't know how else to put it. I love being there. I like to be in service. Actually, all my life and all my jobs that I've ever had has always been being in service. So stepping into this was really easy for me. And it's really where my heart takes me. And so I really feel blessed that I met Cynthia along the way here. It was like
Oh,
it's
thank
funny
you.
how we met, and I thought it was really quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You can go ahead and share that story if you would like.
which one? Oh
How we
yeah.
met.
Um, it was at a market, I
Yeah.
believe. Right. Yes, actually it was the last market for that group who I can't remember the name of the group at the time.
Yeah.
And I was there doing readings, and I saw you, so I went over and started to chit chat, and next thing you know, she was sharing with me how they had this the weekly wand. Yes. So I shared with her, well, I live out in Fort Saskatchewan. I said it would be nice if we could put it out there in a few places. And so one thing led to another, and
You so graciously offered to deliver them for us,
yeah,
and it was perfect.
yeah, I thought it was such a beautiful thing because, you're so lucky in Edmonton. There's much more here than there is in Fort Saskatchewan. So I thought, well, this would be perfect. And so the few places, and especially the one place, the health food store, oh, they loved it. The
Oh,
clients
that's
come in,
nice.
and if they ran out, like they asked about them. But
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for joining. That's phenomenal.
yeah.
And to those of you watching, you'll notice we are in the house today. We were going to be outside, but the 34-kilometer, 26-kilometer an hour winds kind of, put a damper on that.
A little bit of a damper, yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're distancing.
Yeah. I'm kind of a little bit more back of her, so.
Yes.
In a
So
way.
anyhow, what else? What else? What else? Why don't you tell us how you got into what you're doing? Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining us.
Hi,
Why don't
Tammy.
you tell us how you got into doing what you're doing?
Okay. I actually kind of want to go back, actually, when I was a child, because um, I had a lot of experiences as a child, and
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't understand what it was. And I used to have a lot of dreams, a lot of visions, and deja vus, and they freak me out. But then you know what happens during our teenage years? It's
Yep.
party time. And of course that was back in the '60s, guys.
So it was big party
Yeah.
time.
And it was love, peace, and all that, and it was. But the cool thing is when I had my children, I started having dreams and visions again. And again, I didn't understand them. And my daughter, even when she was 3, like she would say things and she would know things that there was no way a 3-year-old could know or even understand. So I definitely knew there was something going on with her. But again, I didn't have anybody in my life at the time to help guide me or lead me in that direction. So it wasn't until actually my children had grown up and gone, and I went through a really dark period in my life. But when I kind of awoke to it, because the things that fascinated me the most and the things that I actually watched on TV were all psychic mediums, like Psychic Detective, The Medium, like all those shows. Just I could watch them 24/7. And I used to sit there and think, oh, I would love to do that. I wonder how they do that. And then all of a sudden, I had 4 dreams in 2 weeks, and every one of those dreams came true. They all came to pass. And I'm going, okay. I said, I don't know what I have to do, but hey, I'm open to it.
Yep.
And then boom, somehow that book, the very first book, one of Jane Von Prau's books, I think it was called What the Dead Can Teach Us. And it's like it fell into my lap. And I read the book, and I sat and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried, and I'm going, oh my God, This is what I need to be doing. It just so pulled me in because it took me on such a deeper level, because I knew there had to be something more than just this human body. There had to be something that was deeper.
Yeah.
Because that book was showing me, like, oh my God, I'm not just this body. There's more to me than meets the eye.
And I'm not alone, and I'm not the only one that feels this. And
Oh,
oh my goodness, there's other people out there like me. I'm not crazy.
yeah, I know. And it just,
Hi, Brian.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then it just, from there, it just like, it took off. There was just no looking back. I decided that this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. And it's funny because, like I was saying before, all the jobs that I had basically led up to this, because my very first job was a car hop, believe it or not. American Graffiti. I actually did that. I could say I did that.
That's
It was a
awesome.
lot of
Hi,
fun.
Michelle. That's so cool.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I can tell you, it really was. It was really cool. But all the jobs that I had, were like
Hi,
waitressing.
Kira. Or Kira.
Waitressing or in
Yeah.
service. I only tried one office job. It only lasted 6 weeks, and they kindly asked me to leave because I was not an office person and I couldn't type. But that was okay. I left on really good terms. Like, we were all friends. I'm going, thank you. But so most of the jobs, I also was in nursing for 13 years. I was a certified nursing assistant.
So you've always been a healer and a helper, and
Yeah,
you've
yes.
always worked in that giving industry.
Yep, and then when I left the nursing, I actually went into hairdressing and became a journeyman hairstylist, as my husband was, and we had a business, and it's funny because over the years, when I used to work there on my days off and help in the salon, many people used to say to me, "Oh, you got such healing hands. Let's forget about the haircut. Can I just stay here at the sink?" But I thought, why not?
Good to know.
But I didn't understand it until later in life, when I actually stepped into doing this work, that I understood that, the exchange of the
extent,
energy.
yeah.
And then as I was working on them and just massaging them and making them feel good, because that was my whole, that's why I like working with people. I like to be able to...
they probably, I would imagine you would have been quite successful no matter what you were doing, whether it was serving with the tips and
Yeah.
hairstyling, because people would have been drawn to your energy, and they're not just coming to you for, the hair, they're coming to you because you have that healing quality.
Exactly. Yeah. And you don't understand that until
Until the one day where it snaps and you
Snaps,
just
like,
do.
boom,
And it's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's like, wow. But I loved it. I've always loved those jobs because they were so me, and that's where my comfort zone was.
Yeah.
Was that being in service.
Mhm.
And so doing what I do today, in readings or counseling or whatever it is, that's just my comfort zone.
And can you share with us what it is you do today?
Okay.
What you're doing now?
So my readings are more based on, I love to be spirit led. So if somebody's coming to me, I prefer them not to have a specific question or anything. I like to have spirit led first, and then from there, when I'm done, when their higher selves needs for them to hear what they need to hear, then if they have questions, then it's a lot easier to connect with that. Because I just really feel if we allow spirit to lead us, because I always say it's from spirit through spirit to spirit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's how I've always loved to work.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the mediumship, I've never had anybody come to me specifically wanting somebody, but I always leave myself open. I always start with a little prayer. If I'm setting up for a weekend or if somebody's coming for a reading, I just go in and say, I just tell the universe, look, I'm open to whatever needs to come through for the highest good in every level, every dimension, every body, and every direction.
Oh, wow. You must get a lot of...
Yeah. And it's funny because sometimes somebody will call me to set up, and as soon as I hang up, something will pop. Boop, right. But normally I'm never, I'm not open
Mm-hmm.
when I'm about or in grocery stores
Yeah,
and stuff, because that would be too overwhelming.
absolutely. Yeah.
And but if somebody calls, then I'm open to whatever needs to come through for them. And so that's how I like to work, is just totally spirit led. Yeah.
And do you find by doing it totally spirit led? Because I work very similar to that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And I generally, you don't come to me with a question. Start with a meditation, clear
Yeah.
your mind,
Yeah.
open it up, and I allow whatever energies to come through you.
Yeah.
And that's what I pick up on.
Yes.
And I find that, and I want to know if you find the same thing, that if they did have a question,
Yeah.
you've answered it before they even ask.
You know what? I'm going to say 10 times out of 10. Usually the question actually is already answered,
Yes.
because really a lot of times, and that's the one thing that I always share with people, and a lot of times it's about learning to pay attention to what we say, because I always say when there's a question, the answer is always with the question, and most people will actually answer their own question
Absolutely.
in the same sentence.
And you're absolutely right,
Yeah.
Kirath. From source to connector, the energy flow.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. If you
Yeah.
allow yourself to be open, you will get that message to come through.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you're blocked, you
Yeah.
won't. And that's why I feel that there are so many people that will be drawn to you that won't be drawn to me, and vice versa,
Exactly.
because you have their message. You connect with their energy, and I don't.
Yes. Yes,
And
and vice versa, and that's a beautiful thing, and this is the one thing that I'm finding on this path, and I think that's the reason why we connect, and because it's where we are, we don't see each other as competition, we see each
Absolutely.
other as the one. We're working because we understand that people are going to be led to us.
Yes, and what I absolutely love about having a tribe and having this circle is being able to say, you know what,
mm-hmm.
I don't have what you need, but I may have someone that does. So
Right.
let me give you this person's information and contact them.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
may be able to give you what you're looking for.
Yes.
Hi, Monique. And so it's a circle. It's that flow of energy. And
Yeah.
so many times we meet people that bring us together with other people that elevate us and
mm-hmm.
take us to that next level. And I absolutely love that.
It's funny because all the training that I've gone through, so I've been to the Arthur Findlay College in England, which is phenomenal. It really is. And also, New York, and I like James Van Praagh, Tony Stockwell, quite a few of them. And right now I'm working with Lisa Williams. But the beautiful thing in all that, and it doesn't matter in all the training, but the thing that I've learned is, everybody teaches in a different way. But what I've learned for myself in all this is to follow what feels right in my body.
Well, and that's what we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
Like so many times you envy a quality in someone else and you're like, I want to be just like them.
Yeah.
And you try,
mm-hmm.
but you're never successful because that's who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you forget who you are and you're not true to your own gifts. If you're like, I want to meditate like so-and-so, so I'm going to start doing meditations like that. And
Yeah.
you're stuck. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Nobody's drawn to it. And then you're like, fine, I'll just do my own boring one. And people come from all over and they love it. And we tend to not see our own gifts.
Exactly. And when we work from that aspect, it actually changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's amazing what happens and how we transform when we trust how we work and be okay with it. Then it's amazing the results that happen out of it.
Yes, and this is something that I experienced, and I just want to know if you experience this anymore, if it's something
mm-hmm.
you've grown because we're all excelling and we're growing, and
mm-hmm.
I still have doubts.
Mm-hmm.
But do you remember?
So do I.
Okay, perfect. Then do you?
Hey,
sometimes I'm sitting with someone and doing a reading, and a message will come to me, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it, and the message is sitting there, and then the person will say, so did you get any feeling about this? And it's like, yes, I did, but you just don't trust that. And it's like, no, this isn't the right message right now, or this does not go with them.
And that's the funny part, because even when I work with people, or when I'm doing my training or my classes, I always say, it doesn't matter what pops in your head, because the one thing that I found what I was doing, and I learned this the hard way, and it was okay. I actually was okay with it. But if I'm doing a mediumship reading and something comes through, if I put it into my head, I'll lose it, and then I'll build a story around it.
So true.
But if it comes in and I pop it out,
you understand it instantly.
Because the sitter will understand it, not
yes.
me. It's not for me. And even if it sounds wonky, I have to have it come out of my mouth because it's not about me. It's for them, and they'll understand exactly what that was about. Even if sometimes they'll say no at first, and I'll say, well, you know what? If it came in, I said, Spirit doesn't lie to me, so I'm going to leave that with you, and maybe it'll show up in the middle of the reading. It's the same thing with somebody asked me one time about clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and all that thing. Actually, it was my sister, and she goes, "Well, which one are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm
all three."
Oh, I said, I'm actually all of them. And I said, it actually depends on my client.
Exactly. That's when people ask me what I do, I say, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Like whatever you need.
Yeah. So it's not about, so I'm not one specific thing. So I've had somebody come for reading. I've actually saw a person standing right beside it. I mean, literally saw them, could describe them, and yet the next person, nothing. I may hear maybe one word or maybe feel something in my body, but so I never know from one person to the next.
I understand that completely. Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of how Tea with the Universe, since I've been a child, I think I go back to I remember the first time I would have been about 7 years old.
Yeah.
I used to have Tea with the Universe.
Yeah.
And we would chat, and we would sit out on this somewhere and drink tea and discuss my gifts and my talents. Yeah. And this entity would, not quiz me, but test me.
Yeah.
And here, because I grew up in a time when having abilities was perhaps not accepted.
Yes. Totally understandable. My grandfather was a minister, so...
Yeah, so, not everything is accepted, so you try to hide it. So then I would go to sleep and go have tea with the universe and work on it, and then come back here and not be able to do anything with it.
Yeah.
And now I'm so fortunate because now I'm sharing tea with the universe, with the world.
I know. That is so flippin' amazing.
And I'm growing at the same time. So, and I'm meeting my tribe, and I'm meeting my people that... I bring out something in them, they bring out something in me. It's so perfect.
I just learned something here in this last few months. And it was my mom's cousin, but we called her Auntie Patsy. And she was a nun. And, it's funny, I went to visit her. She just actually crossed over here in February.
Okay.
I think it was February, yes. The day after her birthday or the week after her birthday.
Oh.
But I visited her in the hospital, and this is before all this. But I actually had gone and visited her at her place, and we sat, and just her and I, we talked about lots of things. And she was telling me when she was a child how her Aunt Margaret Trudeau had taken her and my mom to a psychic.
That's underground, I know. All secretive.
And I thought, this is really funny, it's funny how we can judge things and have this perception of something. But I learned so much in that conversation. And I said to her, I says, well, Auntie Patsy, I said, you know what I do? I says, I don't know what you think about that. She goes, you know what? She looked me straight in the eye and she said, you know what? We're all here in our own path to have our own experience.
Beautiful.
I got goosies. I just look at her and I'm going, those are the words that I always use. We're all here to have, and there's something inside of me that showed me something in that moment about never assume something or never, just jump to the conclusion because she was a nun.
Don't run because you're afraid. Ask questions, learn.
And we had the most amazing conversation, and I learned so much in that few hours that I was with her. And it's like, wow, I was just blown away.
That's perfect. Yeah. And Kirath, you're absolutely right. Truth does come forth because the meditative state, and there is no right and wrong.
No.
There's sometimes you don't understand what you're hearing.
Right.
But there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
And happy Sunday to you as well, Heather. And making
Yep.
tea, perfect.
Yes.
On that note, I'm going to share with you
Yeah.
what we are drinking today.
Mhm.
Again, I know I share this one all the time. It's one of my favorites. Green mint.
Mm.
And it is from Hayward Eclectic. You can find it at haywardeclectic.com or on Melissa's website. It's perfect. I'll tell you what's in it. I should know what's in it because I drink it all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh.
It has jasmine, lime, and mint.
Wow, it's really good.
It is so good. And you can drink it hot or cold.
Yeah.
You can put it in the fridge. You can put it with ice.
Yep. I can drink that on ice too.
I get all
Yeah.
my tea from
Yeah.
Melissa Hayward. It's phenomenal.
It is. It's really, cheers, guys.
And you'll notice
Yeah.
only one of us has a mushroom cup today. They were Callista's. I bought them for her for Christmas a few years ago. She left me and moved to BC, to
Aw.
Nelson.
Yeah.
And she let me keep one. I had the option, one or none. I wanted to. It was one or none. I got one.
Yeah. But, yeah, so this is really amazing. You know, and it's so nice to be able to sit and, you know, and chit chat about whatever comes through, whatever comes
Yeah.
up, you know, whatever we're feeling in the moment.
It's so completely organic, and
Yeah.
I like to breathe into it. There's moments
Yeah.
where I just sit here and I'm like, what are we going to talk about? And you just take a few deep breaths, feel into it, and then something pops up, and
Always.
it's
Always.
perfect. I love it, and
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone that tunes in and watches. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm really am so grateful.
Oh,
like I am
thank you.
so grateful and so honored that you asked me. So
No,
this is really,
anytime.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is really awesome. I love doing this. I think it's really great, and I love how we can all come together, even though we may not be together on a physical, but we are. You know,
Absolutely.
Because I always say in these things, I said. It's like, you know, it's funny because I was actually doing an online thing one time, but I was doing it out of my bedroom. And I said to everybody that I was online with, I said, I don't normally have this many people in my bedroom with me. But everybody had a good chuckle.
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
I thought it was so cool, but it just seemed to me that was the only spot that I could have it in the moment.
and I mean, you can, the great thing about the wide web is you can do it anywhere.
Oh, God.
As long as you have that signal, you can literally connect anywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's even more beautiful than that, so many people are coming into their spirituality now.
Oh.
We can connect without the web,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal. I mean, how many times, and this happened to me so much when I was a child, and then even as a teenager, and then I blocked it out, and now it's coming back. But how many times, and I think you mentioned this earlier in the segment, do you think about someone and then they phone you?
Oh.
Or you say, I have to tell you something, and they're like, that's exactly what I was just thinking, or I was going to tell you. Like,
happening more and more and more right now.
We're allowing it. So many people are finally connecting and allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
And I love to be able to sit here and share that.
Yeah.
And did you see that energy just fly by the screen?
It's like yes.
I love to be able, and I spit. I love to be able to share that with everyone and to feel that and hear other people's stories.
Well, even the other day I had a dream, and so I've been started to record my dreams because like sometimes they can be kind of crazy and wonky and whatever. But I thought, no, there's something in it. But in the one dream, I was sharing with my sisters and my daughter and stuff, and I said, and I noticed all of a sudden those sinkholes.
Yep.
And sure enough, the next day or the day after, right away on Facebook on Fort Saskatchewan Forum, they were showing sinkholes on Highway 28, and I'm going, wow. I said, I'm really glad that I wrote this dream. Now, the stream was too full because I knew there was a message in it for me.
Yeah.
Because there always is. So I look at my dreams. Well, it depends on whether they're precognitive dreams. So premonitions is one thing, which is a gut feeling. But the precognitive dreams is where you're actually being shown something's going to happen. So it's something that's coming up. So I'll look at a dream, and sometimes I'll notice.
Hi, Tina. Thanks for joining.
I'll notice that you know, and I really didn't at this time didn't understand that this dream was going to actually show up
You
on
never
Facebook.
do.
I know, but I knew I had already gotten the message from it, because I always look at dreams more symbolically. Because again, if, it doesn't matter if there's people in it that we know. A lot of times they'll use those people that we know to help us in the dream.
Yeah.
And somebody said to me, well, what if somebody shows up in your dream that you haven't seen for like 30 years? So the first thing I'll say to them, how did you feel about that person, and how did that person feel about you? Because if they're showing up in your dream, it's to show you symbolically what's going on in your life. So what's happening within you. So, you know, so it's really about looking at these things symbolically.
Well, and that's why, I mean, when you're in the dream state, everything makes sense.
Oh, it does.
And then when you wake up and then you think about it and you repeat it, and it's like, oh.
I know.
And then I have many different dream dictionaries that I will go to and look things up.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that makes sense, and that goes together, and that's why this was there and this was there. And then, of course, I have my own spin on it because I interpret things my own way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it, you know, some of dreams, that's a topic for a whole other day.
I know. I know. I could get going on that. I can get on a rampage about dreams. I love dreams. But again, that's how I started doing this.
Me too.
You know,
yeah.
it was through the dreams.
Yeah.
Which was really beautiful. I mean, it was such a beautiful experience for me. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. You know, and even when if they have, you know, crazy or weird or wonky something, you know, step out of it for a moment. And
well, they always think there's something wrong with them. I dreamt that, you know, I murdered someone.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Nothing. There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with you. Look deeper into what that means.
Yes,
like
exactly.
maybe you're letting go of a quality you've been carrying with you that no longer serves you, or
Right.
that has never served you.
Right, and so it has to die.
Yeah,
it has
like
to go. It has to.
Don't take everything so literally.
Yeah, yeah. So, yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes. This tea really is good, guys.
Oh, I know.
Oh my
It's
God.
phenomenal.
It's like, oh.
I'm almost out, and I mean, I constantly drink the same ones.
Yeah.
This one in Holiday Spice.
Yeah.
Holiday Spice is so good
Yeah.
too.
I'm-
They're all phenomenal,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I love my chai tea. I love my spices, my Indian spices.
oh, I've got
Yeah.
some good stuff in there
Yeah.
as well. So, we're going to be closing out pretty soon. So why don't you tell us, I know there's not a lot going on in the immediate
No.
future, but what do you have going on, say, later on?
Okay, so right now I know with the witches market, we may, like, it depends. We might.
And that's the witchery, right?
I think that's the witchery.
Yeah,
right?
the witchery
Okay,
market.
the one that's always in April.
Yeah, witchery.
Yeah. Okay, so we may be open in April. Yeah, May or June.
Okay.
Okay, and then not until again September. Like I'll be in Saskatoon. I'll be in Calgary. And then back in Edmonton again.
And
So
which
for-
markets are you doing
So-
in Saskatoon, Calgary?
Okay,
and
so
then
that's the New Earth.
New Earth Expo?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm with them in all of theirs. So
Okay.
Yeah, I travel extensively.
And what are you doing at these markets?
So there I do readings. I'm actually in the reading room. I love the reading room because then I don't have to worry about, you know, they set up the appointments, they do all the
perfect.
work. And I love it because I actually get a 3-sided space, so I'm kind of in my own little cove. And there's 5 of us, 5 readers. I love every one of the girls. We all get along. We love each other. Again, we don't see each other as competitions. We
Beautiful.
just-
So
it's
you guys
such a-
feed off each other's energy.
Oh, we do. And
Good.
it's so phenomenal. And that's what I love. You know, we should be able to work together.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
And that's one thing too that I want to share because one of the
Hi,
things
Colleen.
one of the things that I learned in all the training that I did with James Bonpland and stuff, and how mediums can piggyback off of one another. And I had that experience, and it's really, really awesome. It really
It is.
and I would love to have that experience again. You know, working with others that you know have this ability, and to me, it's such a cool thing because one of the things is, and this is where we differ, and this is the one thing that I want to bring up because you can come to me, and maybe because I was a hairdresser, I might get their hair.
Yeah.
And but I do actually, I'll share this one little story from the Arthur Finley College. So they actually had 3 of us mediums up on the stage.
Okay.
And so I brought the person in, and so it was a young man, and it actually was kind of funny because it was actually a girl from Canada that actually that we connected with, which was really amazing, believe it or not. But it was her friend's son that came through, and so like I had got the information, like he showed me it was on a ski hill, and he, you know, there was snow, they was on the mountains, and blah blah blah, and yes. Then the girl after me, she got more information, and she gave him. And then the third one, of course, it was a guy, and he loves cars. So guess what? He got the color of his car,
beautiful.
the make, model of his car. And that's why I say, if you have 2 or 3 meetings who are willing to work together, like how cool is that? And so here she got all this information. I see I got goosies.
I know, I can see them.
And I thought, see, she got all this information, and because we all work differently, but yet we worked together in that one reading, it was phenomenal. They had the most amazing reading.
Well, and that's why I love when Lynn and I do our third Thursday of the month readings together, because we work really well together, and we feed off one another, and we can give phenomenal readings.
Yeah,
so
that is, I know, I've watched you guys, and I thought, that is so cool, and I love it. And I think it's such a beautiful thing. It really, really is.
Thank you. I enjoy that. So if somebody wants to book a reading with you at one of these, how can they do that? We'll put all your information on here at the end, but just verbally, quickly, how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, so actually, if you just actually even Google my name now, just Valerie Cameron, like my website automatically comes up. So it's really good.
Awesome.
So I'm really happy
about that. So
that's
easy.
That's really easy. And then with the New Earth Expo, again, because I don't take the appointments, but if any of the other markets that I'm at, you can actually get a hold of me personally, and I can actually book you in. Yeah, with those ones.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then for me, I don't really have a lot coming up because everything has been canceled. But we do have the Artisans of Alberta Online Market and Auction, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., May 2nd and 3rd. So I'll have some readings and some items on there. I always forget to mention, I also have Wandwork Creations. I make jewelry.
Oh yeah, you should see her jewelry. Oh my God. Can you see what I just bought? Sorry. I got to show it off, guys, because this is absolutely phenomenal. So I just wanted to show you. Oop, where am I?
Oh, you have to come closer. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
There. So. Yeah.
So yeah, that I make jewelry. I have the Weekly Wand, which we all know about, my publication that Brian and Lynn so beautifully put together with me. And Wandor Creations, I have Tea with Universe. So if anyone, I'm always looking for guests near or far. If you would like to be a guest on Tea with Universe, please let me know. You can get a hold of me at teawithuniverse@gmail.com, or you can message me on the Weekly Wand or at Wandwork Creations. And I know I always forget to say something. Always. Take care. Thank you for joining us, Kirath. Enjoy your day and your evening. So yeah, there is the Artisans of Alberta Online Market coming up. Lynn will have her online live stream reading the 3rd Thursday in May. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get together and do that. We'll see. I think that's it. Oh, and something else that I'm doing for the first time for the artisan market is I am offering personalized energy scopes that you can bid on. Since I do write the energy scopes in the paper, I'm branching out and doing personalized ones now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm so
I know.
happy
Thank
for
you. So if anyone's interested in that, again, near and far, anyone can join that website, and there are so many artisans on there. Not just myself. There's anything you can think of. And with Mother's Day coming up, we have a lot of Mother's Day gifts and stuff on there. So please check it out and shop local. Even if you're in Ontario,
Yeah.
I am still local.
Yeah. That's right. Hey.
So I think that, is there anything else you want to share?
No, that's
That's it, eh?
yeah. We're good. Because again, I could get into a subject and I could probably talk.
Oh, I know, me too. So
I know I've sat with somebody and then 3 hours later I'm going, oh my goodness.
So I want to thank everyone for joining us today.
Yeah.
I know you could be doing anything. I appreciate the fact that you're here with me and with Valerie. And thank you so much for joining me today, Valerie.
Yeah, this was really exciting.
Thank you. So I just want to send love, light, and healing energies out to everyone. Yes. Enjoy your day and namaste, and I'll see you next Sunday. Take care. Thanks, guys.
See you.